Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to manifest using your heart with the law of attraction and really understanding that this can be much more powerful than using merely our head. Now, I believe this video can give you tools towards understanding how to practically go about this and really knowing the importance of the heart in the whole process. Now, this is going to involve a little bit of what is called quantum physics, and what I mean by this is that the quantum physics is starting to show us more and more about how our reality is a reflection of what we believe to be true. It's a reflection of who we are being in the present moment. Now, this has to do with our focus. This has to do with how what we visualize and how what we are observing is changed while we observe it. And in order to understand this, let's first off understand that our heart is thousands of times more powerful than that of the head. They've shown this in science, they've showed this through experiments, and electromagnetically and magnetically, so electrically and magnetically, the heart is thousands of times more powerful. Now, the importance of understanding this is knowing that when we use our head in order to manifest what we want, when we are just focused on the intellectual ideas of it, a lot of times that can hold us back, because even though that might get us a certain step, unless we are really generating the feeling, we have a missing link when it comes to the process. And that was me for a long time. I was always so focused on the intellectual ideas of it, of knowing these things theoretically. But the moment it becomes very powerful is the moment you go from the theory to more of the embodiment and the feeling and really the experience. Now, this is why a lot of times when I share the idea of understanding what we can do with the law of attraction, many times it's about not taking it so serious. It's about just being more curious about it and having a good time, of almost using it like a game rather than make it so serious and intellectual. And a lot of times that's because we end up holding ourselves back when we make it so serious and so important and we kind of put it on a pedestal. So that's why what I encourage people to do a lot of times is to let go of the outcome and to have fun with the process. Now, when it comes to this process, let's understand that it's less about attracting using our heart and it's more about understanding mirroring, especially when it comes to understanding the quantum physics of it. Now, the idea behind this is that whatever emotions we are embodying, whatever beliefs that we have, that's going to be mirrored back to us. So we can start to see it more as a mere reflection of what we are thinking and what we are feeling. So the question then becomes, how can we tailor and increase the emotions that we feel towards the direction of what we want to experience? This is ultimately going to come down to connecting the power of our brain to the power of our heart. Now, the easiest way I've learned to do this is to realize that we can reframe the negative situations in our life and we can reframe the limitations that we have. Now, the way that we do this is we simply look at the things that we think are limiting us, the challenges that we have in our life, and we simply decide we're going to reframe it and see it in a powerful way, in a positive way. Now, this might seem like it's using the power of our mind, but what we are really doing is we are aligning that with the power of our heart by understanding that emotion comes from belief. Now, this has to do with understanding meaning in our life. We tag the meaning as to what things mean. What is the emotion you feel when it is raining outside? Now, you could say I don't feel any emotion one way or the other. You could say that I feel positive emotion because it doesn't rain very often like it does here in Vegas, so I associate it with being a positive. But if you were from Oregon or Seattle, you might see it rain outside and associate with it being something negative because it was so drawn out with where you were from. Now, the idea is that it depends upon the perspective that you have that generates the emotion that you have. So many times the emotion of our heart comes from the beliefs of the perspectives we have, the focus, the lens through which we see the world. So the way that we really align the energy of our head to the energy of our heart is by being aware of what the beliefs we have are and choosing to focus on perspectives that serve us. Choose to focus on the things that are positive and really asking ourselves the question, what do I believe is true? What is my heart desires? What is authentic for me? Am I following my passion in life? When we feel passionate about what we are doing, that's when we feel like we are embodying the best version of ourselves. understand the other side of this is also knowing that it's important to be authentic to who we are. Anytime that we are doing things for other people's validation, what we end up doing is being inauthentic to who we are. We are then putting our happiness, our passion on the back burner because we're doing everything we can to fit into the mold of who we think we should be for somebody else. So the key to this is following your heart's desires by understanding the power of passion, of defining the things in your life as being positive. Even if it appears negative, you can still get a positive lesson out of a negative situation. And as you start to reframe things, I promise you'll start to see a reflection in your life of those being that which you put into it. They are only inherently neutral except for the perspective that we give it. So the key to this is knowing that we can feel from our hearts at the same time by also putting the awareness more into our body than that just of the head. I do this in meditation. I do this by focusing on gratitude. Gratitude is one of the strongest emotions that you can feel for attracting what you want in your life. It is both the combination of gratitude with that of taking action, because as you take action, you create emotion. Understand, you can think of it in the form of when our bodies are in motion, we are creating emotion. So realize that you have the power to feel the energy inside your heart, to really magnify it, and knowing that your heart will create more for you than that of your head. You can get into your heart by feeling positive emotions, by having the perspectives, by reframing things in your life, and knowing that the more you do this, the more you are creating positive experiences and you are allowing life to mirror back to you that which you want to experience. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, press that little notification gear button if you'd like to see my daily videos. I know some people say they don't see it, and I do videos every single day. And other than that, I will see you guys on the next vid. Peace, much love, and namaste.